Protagonist by CCC. What if our world was merely a story?
Well, it's an interesting idea, but it can't be really proven one way or another, can it?
Asked Trixie, taking a sip of her tea.
I guess not,
admitted Twilight.
It's just something Pinky came up with once. However, it does form an interesting premise from which certain conclusions can be drawn,
continued Trixie quickly.
Specifically, if we assume that we're characters in some sort of story, then we can apply literary analysis techniques to our universe, right? That's reasonable,
agreed Starlight.
Which leads immediately to the conclusion that the entire world revolves around Trixie,
stated Trixie firmly.
Now hold on,
began Twilight.
You?
asked Sunset.
Why on earth would the world revolve around some second-rate magician like you?
Trixie waved a hoof.
Please, do try to rein in your jealousy, Sunset. Trixie knows how inadequate you must feel in the current company, but do try to control your temper. Control my...
Sunset sputtered.
Now, let's all just stay calm, shall we?
Asked Twilight.
Trixie, do you have any reason other than ego to think that the world revolves around you?
Of course, said Trixie.
It's all under the premise that our world is fictional, of course. If our world is fictional, then Trixie is the protagonist, and Trixie can prove it. This I've got to hear, growled Sunset. What is this proof? Why, it lies in the three of you, said Trixie. Sunset Shimmer, Twilight Sparkle, Starlight Glimmer. Do you see the similarity in your names?
The three of them glanced back and forth. Now that it was pointed out, the similarity was obvious, but Trixie elaborated on it anyway.
A time of day, followed by a thing that light does. Moreover, each of you played an important role in Trixie's life. In order. I've never even heard of you before today, said Sunset. What do you mean, in order? Asked Twilight. Chronological by first name, explained Trixie. First you have sunset, then a period of twilight, then the starlight becomes visible. And so was it with Trixie, when the great and powerful Trixie was at Celestia's School for Gifted Unicorns. Trixie had a great rivalry with Sunset Shimmer. I've still never heard of you, said Sunset. At first, Sunset beat Trixie to win every honor in the school, though Trixie must have often been a very close second. But Trixie worked hard, laid plans, and eventually managed to get a final exam mark higher than Sunset Shimmer. Sunset was so ashamed by this result that she has never been seen in Canterlot since. I never wrote the final exam, pointed out Sunset. Clearly due to your growing realization that it was futile to go against the great and powerful Trixie. No, said Sunset. I ran away and hid in an alternate universe after an argument with Celestia. That might be what you think, replied Trixie. But the truth is that you had fulfilled your narrative role. You showed Trixie the importance of hard work and why trickery and illusion are superior. And as soon as your narrative role was over, you found something to do that took you well out of Trixie's mane. Which brings us to the next pony on the list. Twilight Sparkle.
Twilight jumped slightly in her seat.
What? Trixie spent some time after leaving Celestia's school as a traveling magician, going from place to place and earning her keep as a stage illusionist, with trickery and entertainment stories. Trixie's life was therefore far more interesting than the lives of any of you, who stayed in pretty much one place all that time.
All three other ponies cleared their throats simultaneously.
Every new town is a new adventure, said Trixie. The great and powerful Trixie has been a queen, but has been bonded to an evil, soul-sucking magical artifact, has faced off against an Ursa Minor and come out unharmed. Trixie's life has surely been far more interesting than any of your lives. And an author would choose a protagonist with an interesting life, so as not to bore her readers. Could you get to the point? Asked Sunset. Twilight taught Trixie another lesson. Another 2 lessons, in fact. First, Twilight showed how actual magic power could defeat Trixie's trickery in the Ursa Minor incident. And secondly, Twilight showed Trixie how trickery could defeat magical power in the Magic Duel incident. But the 2 lessons were really one lesson. That a pony should be flexible. That one strategy doesn't always beat another. And a strategy must be chosen to match the situation at hand. I guess that's not entirely unreasonable, said Twilight. Which brings us to Starlight, the first of the 3 secondary characters not to immediately become a rival for Trixie. Starlight became Trixie's first friend, and no doubt shall learn something from this developing friendship. So, what it basically comes down to is that our names are similar? Asked Starlight. Trixie nodded. Basically, yes, she said. Whoever wrote this story is just really bad at thinking up new names for antagonists. Trixie is wondering whether Trixie shall ever meet a pony called Midnight Gleam or similar. There was a long silence. Sunset was the first to break it. That was the most ridiculous, most asinine theory I have ever had the misfortune to be exposed to, she said firmly. You want to talk? Sneered Trixie. Alternate universe? Do you honestly expect any pony at this table to believe that?
We here at Pony&Wolf Productions thank these amazing patrons of ours for their monthly support, without which all of this would not be possible. We sincerely appreciate it, and every dollar helps, is needed, and will be used to keep us going to produce audiobooks for your continued enjoyment. It is, now more than ever, important that you support your favorite creators if possible, due to YouTube changing in a way that is not very friendly to content creators. Especially small content creators, like us. In recent months, the names you see on screen have enabled Midnight and Visual Pony to keep going and only having to sell off part of their belongings to not end up on the street. As an incentive for everyone, Visual Pony has broken a vow and has promised to read and record Fallout Equestria, Murky number 7, should the monthly support reach $1,500. To be clear, this is the absolute minimum amount needed to keep the apartment and all bills paid without starving, while a production of this size is ongoing. The estimated time for this production would be 3 to 4 years, but people already said that Project Horizons was impossible to do, right? And now look who did it, so with Pony&Wolf, you know we can finish the job. For further information on how to support us, please have a look at the description of this video, as there are also other ways, like our merch store. Sincerely and forever yours, your Pony&Wolf team.